Before I do that, there are a couple terms that I'd like to introduce and talk to you about. Number one is most business owners do not understand what the difference is between personal credit and commercial or business credit. You probably do, but let me just refresh your memory. Personal credit, every consumer in the United States is automatically set up with a personal credit file or score, FICO score by Fair Isaac, that is associated to their consumption of products and services. It's tied to your Social Security number, and all of us coming out of college or wherever we were at, we started to make certain credit decisions. We might have gotten a car loan, we might have gotten a credit card, we might have gotten other aspects, but as we were accumulating this credit and hopefully responsibly paying that credit, a credit score was built. And that credit score follows your Social Security number through your life. Some people manage their credit scores well. Some people have a more difficult time. But the point is that it is automatic. It is there. And it has a huge bearing on your ability of financing mortgages, cars, other aspects of your home. The other aspect about a personal credit score that's critical to know is a personal credit score actually has an inverse impact when it's overused. Meaning, as you begin to use that credit score more and more, have businesses that are checking that credit score, and as you have multiple credit cards with revolving credit, and that revolving credit begins to represent 50% or more of the available credit on that credit card, your scores start to drop rather dramatically. And as it's overused, also the available credit begins to drop. And this is a huge factor that is happening in small business in a very, very broad way. Now, what's the difference between personal credit and business credit? Business credit is credit, a credit file, credit score, and credit history that's tied to the business, not to the business owner's personal credit. This commercial credit is tracked by vendors that are providing lines of credit, loans, factoring, receivables, trade credit to the business. Some percentage of those trade vendors report to the credit agencies, D&B, Equifax, and over a period of time, a business can create a separate business credit file independent of their personal credit. Now, every business is not automatically given a credit file. Every business, in fact, you saw the statistic, 88% have underdeveloped credit scores. So for a business to create a credit file that's tied to the business, they need to be proactively involved in a systematic approach of both setting up a credit file, coming into lender compliance, building that credit file by actively investing in vendors that report, and then leveraging it to access cash and credit. The beauty of a commercial or business credit is it does not drop as it is used. In fact, it grows as the organization grows. So as the revenues, the payment history, and growth of a business grows, so does its business credit file. So personal credit have a glass ceiling, and as you start getting to the top of the glass ceiling, it goes down. Business credit does not have a glass ceiling. It will continue to grow with the business. A second term I want to talk to you about that I mentioned in the previous slide is a business credit asset. What is a business credit asset? A business credit asset is the outcome of a business that creates credit and debt that's tied to the business versus to the business owner. So a business credit asset basically reflects that if a business owner has debt and credit that's tied to them, it's a liability, meaning when and if that business owner chooses to transfer or sell the business, that debt and credit cannot transfer to the new owner. It's a liability, and as a liability, it has to be extinguished, meaning paid off. So resources in that transaction are tied up in paying down that. But worse yet, the new buyer of the business has no credit and cannot transfer any of the debt of the business. They have to start over. And typically starting over with their personal credit. Now, if that business owner had in fact built a business credit asset, meaning the majority of the debt and credit of the business was tied to the business, that becomes an asset that can be transferred because it's tied to the business, not to them individually. So now the buyer is looking at that and saying, this is incredible. If I transfer the corporation, I actually get access to that credit going forward, which is an asset of the business. So the concept of a business credit asset, both for the buyer and seller of a business, is a huge and important concept that every business owner needs to understand. So what we've laid out then is small businesses are under pressure because they don't have access to credit, they don't have access to the funding, they can't grow and purchase business-to-business product services to help them grow their business. So how can we help them build the credit, access the capital, and have their businesses in a credible form that allows them to grow? And this is an opportunity for all of them. And at this point, I want to introduce our flagship product called Business Fundability. Business Fundability is a business-to-business membership program that's targeted to small business. It's the fastest growing business-to-business credit development and funding advisory membership program in the world. It is based on a proven system of helping now over 41,000 businesses create credit assets separate from their personal credit. The system and our proprietary database of business trade credit providing vendors in the United States allows an average small business in the United States to tap upward of $200,000 of trade, cash, and credit in their business. And I think it's really important to understand that over 90% of the credit available to businesses in the United States is trade credit. Only 10% of the credit used by businesses in the United States are cash credit. However, the majority of small businesses almost exclusively use cash credit in their business. They're not tapping trade credit. And this is a huge mistake, and it really undermines the serious problems that small businesses in. Business Fundability incorporates a technology platform and integrated coaching, what we call business credit asset coaching and advisors, that is customized for each member's business. Something that we've found out as we've served business owners is the fact that business owners are not going to engage in systems without the coaching and support of advisors. And our system really is focused on helping that business owner rapidly move through the system, access the capital, and have availability to experts who can help them in each step of the way. Our system integrates Experian's world-class business credit monitoring and the largest database of credit reporting vendors in the world. Why is that important? When you're building business credit, You want to be able to work with vendors that you know are reporting to credit agencies. And as you're building your trade lines, you want to have every dollar you spend not personally guaranteed, but tied to the business and reporting those credit agencies. And finally, the business fundability members have access to personalized credit asset coaches and fundability advisors. And the fundability advisor is a really important concept. Fundability advisors have three primary objectives that they work with small business owners. Number one, helping them look at their fundability of their system, the financial reporting of their systems, and figuring out the best way to present the business to credit banks, lenders, etc. Number two is to help them understand what products are available that's going to help and meet their credit, their cash, their loan needs. And then number three, to help them identify and underwrite those loans to get the greatest results possible. The fundability advisor is a critical service and product that every small business needs. Now, business fundability is exclusively offered through a network of licensed resellers, nationwide network of resellers. Our resellers are successful, incredible business-to-business consultant and sales professionals. Who do we want to license and represent business fundability? We want business-to-business organizations who actively work with small business and are credible. They don't need to be financial or funding experts. Many of our most successful categories are business coaches, business brokers, business opportunity and franchise brokers, individuals that are involved in different types of financial products, merchant processing, tax preparation, business services, even funding products. So there is a wide range of business to business that we believe can successfully help their clients understand and incorporate these memberships, which are going to help those business owners grow and survive and expand the relationship between our licensed reseller and those business. Our licensed reseller program has a low cost of entry and brings new customers to you that have greater financial resources to invest in other products and services.